Well, I'm not sure how we can top that, but let's talk about, or not talk about, what are your impressions of Leonard Fournette after seeing him arrive on campus? What, if you could compare him to a running back or an athlete, who would it be?
Leonard Fournette is quietly assuming a strong position where he's going to have to learn and, come to a role for us. And I think he's doing it exactly right. I think he needs to be thoughtful, humble, and he's doing all of that. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes in 29 practices before our first game. Okay, now I give you guys an update. Macy Miles in the World Series, which all you guys are following, probably in another media area, doing pretty good. Won the first game. She was pitcher 4-0, no hitter. Way to go, May. Rained out the second game. Come on, she didn't get. What's happening in the second game? So. Yeah, was that May? Was that Macy? Kathy. Oh Lord. Yeah, I follow her. Of course, she's at the World Series. I think the Yankees are playing. So, hey, how about Derek Jeter? Seriously, wasn't that wonderful? I mean, seriously, 2 for 2 in this last All-Star game. I was really proud for the captain. So.
Les, you had some success with 2 quarterbacks before. Do you have to pick one guy before Wisconsin? Or are you comfortable going into Wisconsin without having one guy for certain? Or what's your philosophy on that?
We're gonna let competition play out. We're gonna see who the best one is over time. And, so many times a guy will come in, have a hot scrimmage, and, you can make too much of it. Or, he'll have not the day that he anticipated, and you can. So what we'll do is we'll take all 29 practices that we have. We'll make some quality decisions, and I'm not saying that 2 quarterbacks will play, but we'll look at what advantages they give us and play the one that gives us the most.
Hey, Coach, here in the front, you might be looking at, on your left, you might be looking at playing material time to a true freshman quarterback, a true freshman running back, a true freshman wide receiver. How do you sleep at night, man? Because tell the rest of us, what are you using to sleep?
We've played 15 freshmen 2 years ago. We played 14 freshmen this last year. There was a point in time where Patrick Peterson was going into his 3rd year, and he addressed the team as a leader of our team, and said that he expected that there would be guys, freshmen, that would have to play big roles as we went forward. And that was Eric Reed, who was a 3-and-out safety, Terrell Simon, who was a 3-and-out corner, and Tyrann Mathieu, who certainly was 3-and-out. So we've kind of, out of necessity, if you will, have accepted the need for very, very quality incoming freshmen to be trained, accept the responsibility to play like Tigers. So it's difficult.
Coach Miles, right in the center. The SEC always has a lot of incredibly talented people. I'm just wondering who you see as the Heisman favorite in the conference this season.
I would be the worst one that you could possibly ask. I promise you this. I recognize our opponents as we get to them in game week and see, who they are. And it's not going to do you any good. I'm sorry. So I'd say Johnny Manziel was a good pick a couple years ago, but that's old news.
Coach, how many programs in the SEC West do you feel like actually have a realistic chance of winning the league?
I'm a guy that's not going to answer that question very well, but I would have to say that the teams that I am looking at, from the Auburns and the Alabamas and the Mississippi and the Mississippi State and the Arkansas, it's a pretty quality group of folks. Put A&M in there, I think it will be won by the team that does this. It doesn't really spend their time answering that kind of question first. And secondly, that group of men, and I mean it honestly, that come to practice with a purpose about getting better. If they improve, I think it's up for grabs. I have never seen this league where it was any other way. And as an example, who picked Auburn last year? Really, nobody. So the pick gives a stink, right? It's going to be that team that improves earns their way. And that's always been something that we're comfortable with.
Coach, with the trend of young guys getting a shot to play, right up here on the right, young guys getting a shot to play, one of your players brought up there's a sign in the locker room, young guys, be prepared to play early and play big roles. What was the emphasis for that sign, and is that a new sign, or has that been around since you've been there?
It's been around since Patrick Peterson stood up in that room and said that. And what happens is we kind of elect a leadership council, and that leadership council adds to what is a performance board, and really Patrick Peterson started that, and it's been followed through with year after year after year since then.